introduce us. Awesome. Will you start, Dan?
Yeah. So my name is Dan Carr. I use he, him pronouns. I am BAV's technical assistance and outreach manager. I'm usually the first contact with farmers, or one of the first contacts with farmers, and then help to plug them into where they fit best with BAV, and we'll go more into that later. Um, this business accelerator excited me, and I wanted to see this come to fruition because I really love seeing farmer to farmer programs like this, and I find that the best learning happens through peer-to-peer type work like this. So that's me in a nutshell. Rebecca?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca Buzansky. I'm the executive director at Berkshire Agricultural Ventures. And yeah, I share that excitement and enthusiasm. I think you can feel kind of coming off of Rose and Dan, which about this program. So really glad to see you all here tonight.
Awesome. And as I said, my name's Rose Cherneff. I use they, them pronouns. I'm the program lead for the Farm Business Accelerator here at BAV. And similar to Dan, I've been as a farmer, part of a lot of cohort programs, and just find that having guidance and support within like a group of learners together is the way that I get most engaged and challenged in my work. Um, Awesome. So now we're going to move into the slideshow portion. We're going to do a slideshow just of the overview of what this program is all about. Um, and then we'll move into a chance to ask some questions. Um, and let's just go through this whole slideshow and then we'll do questions at the end. So if you have a question as it comes up, feel free to type it in the chat so that you don't forget it. And then we'll go through them all at the end. Um, Okay, great. So, welcome to the Farm Business Accelerator, growing sustainable futures together. Um, and let's go to the second slide, and Rebecca will share a little bit about BAV.
Yeah, thanks, Rose. So I think as many of you know, but I want to make sure for everyone, BAV is a nonprofit that started 9 years ago. And we serve the four counties of Berkshire County, Massachusetts, Litchfield County, Connecticut, and Columbia and Dutchess County, New York. So that's sort of Berkshire, Taconic, Litchfield County area. And our mission, our work is really around supporting the sustainability of farmers. So a lot of what we do, and for those of you who've worked with us, you know, is sort of in the background. We provide that scaffolding of business support, and that can look a couple different ways. We have a low interest, very flexible financing to help farmers grow their business with equipment, working capital, and more. We have a very robust business technical assistance program, of which Farm Business Accelerator is really born out of, which includes that individualized technical assistance with an expert. We do a lot of workshops, and we do a lot of connecting farmers with strategic resources that are out there and available because um, I think as Melissa it said, sometimes it's hard to sort through all that's out there and available for farmers. And oftentimes our job is really to try to make sense and kind of help point people in the right direction and get them connected. And then, our really goal is to build a thriving food system. So we also work on kind of some bigger food system wide issues. We work a lot on climate smart agricultural. We have agriculture. We have a very robust program run by Ben Crockett to do risk mitigation and adaptation strategies with farmers. We work a lot on the local meat processing front with livestock farmers because more than 40% of our farmers are livestock farmers. So we've really focused in on helping them by helping small meat processors. And we run a market mash program for Berkshire area farmers markets where we double food stamps in the farmers markets. So really we are working to keep listening to farmers and meeting their needs in lots of different ways. So thanks.
Yeah. And just to elaborate a little bit more about what BAV does, um, uh, I would say the two main components of the way we help farmers is through business technical assistance and through our loan program. Our business technical assistance, though, it can mean a lot of different things. It can mean working on a business plan. It can mean working on your bookkeeping. It can also mean grant writing. A lot of folks in this room, in this Zoom, have worked with us on, or we've connected them to grant writing, professional grant writing support. Um, uh, uh, we've linked folks up with professional marketing, technical assistance. And I really pride BAV on being flexible in what we consider technical assistance. We've had cases where we've done more operational TA. We've had cases where we've connected one farmer to another farmer for technical assistance. We've also helped people connect with HR consultants and accessibility consultants and the like. So we really try and be flexible with that. Our loan program is you're a not-for-profit lender. It's a very low-cost loan program. We keep our interest rates low to provide farmers with an alternative to other conventional lenders. Shannon Smith is our loan director, and she's great at working with farmers in terms of loan readiness and helping them work through all the decisions about how much to borrow, and if it's right for them to take out a loan. Um, we also do a lot of network weaving that happens through our workshops. I think a great example of our network weaving is the work that our colleague Jake Levin is doing with a lot of farm to institution work right now, and the work he's also does connecting farmers to different meat processors and helping those meat processors to grow and be more resilient. So I think there's a broad range of services that we can offer, and even if the business accelerator is not the right fit for your farm, please get in touch with me, and I'd love to find other ways that BAV can support your farm.
Great. Thanks, Dan. So let's dive into learning more about what the Farm Business Accelerator program is about specifically. As Dan and Rebecca both mentioned, this program really is just a natural outgrowth of kind of observing what BAV has encountered the most success with in terms of supporting farmers around finances and business development, and really taking these time-tested tools of farmer cohorts and peer-to-peer learning and one-on technical assistance and mixing them up into a beautiful Farmer Business Accelerator soup. Um, so this is a brand new program. If you apply and are accepted, you'll be in our first cohort. And one really special thing I think about the program is its longevity. It's going to be running for over the course of 2 years, starting this November, with 12 to 20 farms in our service area. Excuse me, that's a typo, but it makes it look like I'm texting. And this program is really responding directly to farmer feedback, a demonstrated need for support in the small to medium scale farms in our region. And yeah, as I said, it's bringing together these two really farmer tested tools of learning in the cohort model while simultaneously getting this one on one technical assistance from a service provider. And the goal of this program is to grow more sustainable farms and livelihoods. And we think we can do this better when we do it together. So there will be a lot of emphasis in this cohort, both on the nitty gritty of like what is the best way you can record keep and generate financial reports to make informed decisions about next year's production. And also, like the so what of why are you doing this? Maybe it's so that you can next year take a weekend off in the summer, or maybe it's so that you feel less financial stress or whatever. But we're really committed to holding the big picture along with the nitty gritty. Next slide, please. Um, and in order to be eligible to apply to this program, you must live within our service area, which, as Rebecca said, is the four counties: Berkshire, Litchfield, Columbia, and Dutchess. Um, Farms should be in at least their third year of operation. Um, and more established or generational farms are eligible and definitely encouraged to apply. We've already had a couple of awesome applications from people running generational farms, people who are deeply established and just want to continue honing their business. Um, Another eligibility requirement is that you should have some financial records, some numbers with which to sort through and interpret, and have some understanding of basic bookkeeping, or be ready to really spend some hours with a one-on-one TA service provider that will match you with to get you in a good place for when the program begins this winter. Um, if you do feel like you're psyched to apply, but you would need to do some work to get kind of in the right place, we encourage you to really apply early to the priority deadline that we'll talk about later so that you have plenty of time to work on that. And if you are accepted, there's an $150 per farm fee upon acceptance. So people are encouraged, if you're farming with a partner, you're welcome to both apply and attend. And that's an $150 fee per farm. And then upon completion of each year, farms receive implementation funds to support the work they want to do. I should say that this whole program was really envisioned out of BAV's incredible staff, thinking about, what are the most effective programs we already offer. And then we brought together an advisory group of 6 farmers and 2 service providers that really put their heads down and shared and gave feedback and helped us develop this program. And in addition, Brian and Vicki Fairbanks, who are members of the community and really want to support local agriculture and farmers in any way they can, are financially supporting this program. So it's been many minds coming together to design the accelerator. Some components of the program. The first year, there'll be 4 in-person workshops in the winter, spaced 1 month apart, running November through February. And then 2 farm visits in the summer in July and August. All of those will be in person and rotating locations in our 4-county service area. And upon completion of those in-person workshops and farm visits each year, you'll receive implementation funds in order to put into action or begin to put into action some of your takeaways. Concurrently to attending these workshops, which the whole cohort will be present for, you'll be matched one-on-one for business technical assistance. And we'll work really closely with you to find the right service provider for you. So as Dan said, some people are going to really want to hone in on, like, I just need to get my books in order and figure out my record keeping system, figure out how to generate those financial reports. Some people are going to come in saying, like, I've got those financial reports down, but I want to figure out how to interpret them and decide which enterprises to really lean into next year and how to track how well I'm doing and which enterprises from looking at my books to discover really aren't profitable and how to let go of those. Or you might want help with marketing or something like that. So we'll work, and I'm hearing some background, I'm not sure. We'll work really closely with you to make sure that that service provider is a good fit for your goals. Um, and that one-on-one business technical assistance can begin, upon acceptance or sometime this fall, winter. Um, and we're estimating between 10 and 20 hours of that one-on-one work with a service provider at an estimated value of around $2,000 each year. So again, the workshops and farm visits, um, and one-on-one technical assistance happens twice. So we'll do this series of workshops and technical assistance, then you'll go off and have a growing season where you're keeping records like never before. And then we'll have another series of workshops where we can really sit down and see how did it all go? What pivots do you want to make again the next year? And then to finish it all off, there'll be a 3-day capstone, which will be an in-person gathering to really reflect on all the learning and progress you've made, um, present to each other and exchange knowledge, celebrate, and then solidify next steps for what are your next, 2 years of your business going to look like.
Thank you. I think I was the background noise. I had a motorcycle going by the office. Sorry about that. Um, so going over the program schedule a little bit, like Rose said, the program will kick off with the first workshop, which will be at Hancock Shaker Village. Geez, it will be in Hancock at Jiminy Peak Resort, and that's going to be Thursday, November 12th. And it's an all-day workshop. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we'll have an inclement weather date of the following Tuesday in case, we have really, really bad weather and folks aren't able to travel that day. But from there on out, we will meet as a group, the second Thursday of each month for the winter. So in December, that'll be December 10th. It'll be a full day workshop and full day being from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and lunch will be included with that. And then in January, that'll be Thursday, January 14th, Thursday, February 11th. For all those in-person workshops, we'll have lunch provided. We'll have, ample snacks. We're really looking forward to that time. And it's really important that if you want to apply for it, that you really think about if you could make all of those dates, because that's going to be really the time for the farms to get to know each other and to really do the real learning from each other. We were also working on having childcare available there. We really want this to be as accessible of a program as possible. Um, and then to sort of reconnect in the summertime, we would do a farm tour, hopefully from somebody in the cohort to sort of demonstrate some of the things they picked up from the workshops. And that'll be, an evening get together on Thursday, July 8th, and we'll do a second one in August 12th. And then we'll do a similar schedule in year two, where we're doing, the second Thursday of the month over the winter, and then do 2 farm workshops over the winter, or farm tours over the summer months. And then everything will wrap up after year two, that sort of third winter, we would do the capstone, which would be kind of an opportunity for us to get together over a few days and wrap up the program. So that wouldn't be monthly gatherings. That would be just one single gathering based on the whole group's availability. That'll be over 2 or 3 days.
Great. So in those first winter workshops, the first year, um, we will cover a lot of things to just kind of get us all on the same page, get us on a good footing. Um, the workshops will be led by Stevie Schaffenecker and Allison Angelini, who are both really incredible technical assistance providers. Allison is a farmer in her own right and also teaches through the Cornell Small Farms program, business planning classes. And Stevie is a really amazing one-on-one technical assistance provider who's worked with a lot of farms through BAV. Um, and we will learn things such as just goal setting, really defining the values that are driving you to want to show up on a Tuesday night and learn about this program and what your vision for your farm is and your life. I know as someone who's worked on farms for many years, just how hard it is to make it work financially. And we're gonna create a space where people can share about that honestly and openly, and also gain inspiration from hearing stories of the small wins and being able to tap into those kind of bigger visions of why you're working this hard. Um, in that first workshop, we're also just going to support you to really define exactly what you want to get out of this one-on-one technical assistance, um, and make sure that you're putting that time to good use. In other workshops, we'll do different farm assessment exercises, really being able to kind of take a step back and evaluate what's going great on your farm, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, what are the outside factors that are putting pressure, but also creating opportunities on your farm. And then how do those impact your finances? So, once again, you'll notice this theme of zooming out and then going right into the numbers and saying, now that you've identified these certain weaknesses, let's actually look at how it's playing out year over year in the books. Um, we'll dive into interpreting financial reports. So, you know, looking at your financial reports, being able to generate them is one thing, but how to make informed decisions about your production based on them is a whole other thing. Someone in our advisory group who's a vegetable farmer talked about what a difference it felt when he got to the point where he was able to look at his cash flow over the year and know that if he took out a loan in the spring, he'd be able to pay it back by the fall. And that being able to make that decision not just based on like a gut feeling, but really informed by your numbers from the last few years just totally changed the way he felt going into the spring. Um, and then we're just really going to support you and set you up for success to translate all the knowledge you've learned over the course of the winter into concrete action to be implemented the coming season and to track that the coming season. So, again, a strength, I think, as I said, of this program is its longevity, that we'll be able to make sense of all the books the first winter and then develop some systems so that the second winter you're able to look at your data and interpret it based off of all the work you've done with your one-on-one TA provider and then cross-check it with your goals and your vision and continue to do that iterative process year after year. Um, so yeah, we'll commit other kind of like ways you'll learn in these workshops are that we'll learn from Stevie and Allison through, their expertise, but they'll also bring in real world case studies, share their farming stories, and then we'll make sure there's lots of time each workshop to put your learning into action to implement it. So there'll be some sort of frontal presentations and communicating concepts, and then lots of time for small group learning. The cohort will be broken into three sort of subgroups based on experience and interest and background so that there's space to really flesh out ideas, to practice sort of pitching your next business moves and get real feedback from other farmers who are in it with you. Um, And yeah, as I said, we've already seen that some really like incredible experienced farmers are applying to the program, people who are many generations into this project of farming. And that lets us know that this is going to be a room like full of incredible knowledge. Also, people who are 3 or 4 years in have incredible knowledge, and we're really committed as the facilitators to creating a space where you all get to share that with each other and get to learn from each other. Um, and then, as Dan was saying, after these winter workshops, we'll have 2 summer farm tours. Ideally, those will be on participants' farms, and they'll be sort of case studies of you taking the work you did in the winter and putting it into action that season. So, an example might be if you decided, I run a farm store and I want my one-on-one technical assistance to be really helping me hone in on like pricing and getting my prices right, then the farm tour might be, if you were so gracious to invite us all over, might be us walking around the farm store and you sharing like, okay, here are the price changes I made and here's how it's looking a few months in. So really getting to see that knowledge implemented in action. And then going into the second year, kind of from then on, we're off to the races, and we're really going to turn to you all to see what the collective interest is in for the content of the second year's workshops. But we're really committed to being responsive and adaptable and also uplifting. I think in the second year, we'll have members of our farmer advisory group leading some of the workshops and really encouraging the knowledge that's already in the room to get to come forward. So that's a bit about the content.
Uh, Going back to the one-on-one technical assistance, I see this as a really key aspect of this program. Over the last 2 years, I've been running a dairy cohort of dairy farmers from across the 4 counties as well. And similar to this program that we're setting up, we had peer-to-peer in-person workshops where a lot of ideas were generated. And then oftentimes when I would circle back with the farmers, they really wanted to go deeper into something that they heard from one of their peers. And we really intentionally built this portion of the program to make sure that everybody has one-on-one time with a business consultant that really is well matched up for them to go deeper into any topic that they would like. And that's what's going to make this a great program for a variety of different types of farms. It doesn't matter if you are only in your fourth or fifth year of owning a farm and you're still sort of figuring out some of your financial management systems or if you're the third or fourth generation on your farm, every will be able to match you up with a consultant that fits your own situation and your own needs. So just like all of our technical assistants, I start off by doing our intake process, and based on what I hear from you, we'll introduce you to a consultant, and you get the choice to decide, is this the right consultant for me or not? You'd have a half an hour or 40-minute chat with them, see if they feel like they're the proper fit for you. If not, then we would match you up with another consultant. But it's uh, uh, I'm really excited about the deep bench of different business planning consultants that we've worked with over the years, and we're able to bring those folks together and have them work alongside these workshops to help each individual farm go deeper on any topic that they would like to go to. The the topics can vary, from just getting better at your own financial record keeping systems, or it could go to a higher level of, analyzing financial reports and making decisions based on that, or more in the marketing and advertising realm. Um, or succession planning, retirement, or planning for retirement. We have quite a variety of different skill sets in the business planning consultants that we work with that we'll be able to choose from to match you up with. So, um, move from that. Oh,
Excuse
you're
me.
on mute. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Okay, thanks, Dan. So, yeah, we hope you apply. The priority deadline for the Farm Business Accelerator is coming up on September 15th. And as we said, if you're someone who's feeling really excited about this program, but you're like, ooh, geez, like I have a lot of cleaning up to do of my numbers and my books, we really encourage you to apply for the priority deadline because we can match you with the one-on-one um, technical advisor sooner than if you're accepted. Applications officially close on October 15th, and our first workshop will be held November 12th, as Dan said. So we'll let you know shortly after applications close as to whether or not you've been accepted into the program. And just a note on that, we're getting like tons of interest. So we're feeling so psyched. And we're also really committed, if for whatever reason the cohort isn't the exact right fit for you, we're really committed to supporting all farms and all steps on their journey. So there also are always options to reach out to BAV for one-on-one technical assistance, not through the cohort as well. In order to apply, you can go to our website and there's a banner at the top that takes you right to the application. After we've received your application, after the September 15th deadline, we'll contact you for a brief interview just to make sure that the program feels right for you and for us. And as I said, if you're selected to join, we'll have you put $150 deposit to hold your place. And please let us know if you have any questions in the meanwhile. Oh, the application is pretty hefty. It's going to ask you some big questions that really give you a sense of the program ahead and kind of set you up for that. It's not going to ask you to go into your specifics of your financials in the application, but more just sort of the overarching questions about why this is the right time for you to do this experience and what you want to get out of it. So we're recommending to block out like a full hour to sit down and really give the application justice. And if you have any questions at all in the process leading up, don't hesitate to reach out to me and Dan. My email is below.
And
So,
my email's exactly the same, except Dan, DAN, at berkshireagventures.org.
and that concludes our slideshow. And let's move back. Thank you, Kostya. Let's move back to the screen for questions. And feel free to just unmute yourself, or you can type a question into the chat, whatever you prefer. And yeah, never, no dumb questions. And also, if you just want to share, if you're just like, oh, geez, I don't know about this, or if you want to say, like, this part is really sticking for me, um, that's welcome as well.
This is Alicia. I am really excited about this. I would love to see some examples of the kinds of financial information you'd like us to have going in, because mine is not very well developed at this point, and so I'm sustainable in all sorts of ways, but not financially. And so that's the one I'm really working on. And so I would love to see some examples of the kinds of records so I can start to organize myself. Thank you.
Do you want to take it, Dan, or should I?
Yeah, I'd be happy to take that one. Um, well, thank you for being so candid and being a little bit vulnerable. And I would say you're not the only one. As a farmer myself, I can speak from experience of being in various stages of disarray at various times throughout my farming life. And the main thing is just that you are able to build those financial records. So the
Okay.
main, like, if you would, you know, if you don't have a Schedule F from, past year's tax returns, being able to just collect all of uh, your uh, costs and all of your uh, all of your profits over time. And we can set you up with somebody to help you get started on a financial record keeping system, help you get into QuickBooks or into Wave or into, whatever financial record keeping system is going to work best for you. The main thing we want to see is that you have a willingness to get started on it and that you have past years that you can collect records from to be able to get started.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah, and I'll add, like, we have a loose goal of by the end of the first year, by the end of the first winter, you will have worked with a one-on-one provider to be able to generate like a profit and loss statement, a balance sheet, cash flow budget, things like that. But what's really important to us is that you know how to interpret those reports, or you know how to interpret your own numbers in the way that makes sense for you, so that the goal is that when you're, in the middle of the season and you're wondering, like, is this enterprise worth it? Is it paying off? You can look at your numbers and make informed decisions. So that's like the why.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
I saw that Martha had also dropped a question in the chat. How many farms will be accepted into the program? We're gonna have a max of 20 farms. So anywhere between 15 and 20 farms will be accepted into the program. And like Rose said before, we kind of because we're going to be splitting up into subgroups, a big part of what we're thinking about is the dynamics of those subgroups. We want to have farmers that are going to be well matched up with each other in the subgroups. So that'll definitely play into well, the final number of farms that we accept into it. Any other questions? Mhm. Nice to see some little faces popping on. Mhm. I definitely want to emphasize that please don't hesitate to reach out to Rose or myself if any other questions come up for you along the way. Oh, I see Melissa has a
Quick
question.
one. This is more like an interview question. What might be some things that would like red flag an applicant and you're like, that's not a good fit?
Good
Besides maybe
question.
the like not willingness, things you've already touched on. I could hear like not willing or, wanting to be open about stuff, but anything else?
Yeah, I think um, not really showing the the interest in getting to being able to have those financial records. That's really the focus of the cohort, and um, that needs to be at some point an underlying goal is that somebody wants to have their books in order because that's a big part of the program. That'd be the first thing that comes to mind for me. Rebecca and Rose, would you have anything that you would add to that?
Uh, I guess I would just add, I don't think it's about red flags. It's going to be more about getting groups together, a group together that fits. So it could be when we split into subgroups, it could be that one is, livestock farmers, the other is vegetable farmers. Maybe one is kind of newer farmers and the other group is more multi-generational farmers. So there's no kind of rejection in that sense. It's more a sense of like we're trying to get a cohesive group together and what is that cohesive group going to look like? And if someone doesn't get accepted, it's because for some reason they're an outlier in some sense of that word, if that's helpful or makes any sense.
Great. And I see Skylar's question, how will subgroups work? Would the groups meet in addition to the winter meetings? So subgroups we're envisioning just in these, 10 to 3 days with the winter workshops. In the afternoon portion, you'll break up into small groups to really just flesh out the ideas and workshop things with each other. You're welcome to meet additionally outside, but we're just organizing those 4 gatherings in the winter where subgroups will be like a breakout group within the gathering. Yeah, and I want to be respectful of people's time. We're nearing 8, so please don't hesitate to email me and Dan with any follow-up questions. We'll send this recording out tomorrow with all the links to all the resources. I think let's end the recording for now, and we'll just do one final closing exercise. So the tagline